As the world commemorates International Women's Day, President Tinubu pledges greater opportunities. Defying stereotypes, how Pamela Yakubu is thriving as an automotive painter in male-dominated industry. Chief Justice of Nigeria signs Nnamdi Kanu's case after court outburst. And on the foreign scene, South Sudan general among dozens killed in attack on UN helicopter. Good evening, this is News Update on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us and happy International Women's Day. President Bola Tinubu has extolled the virtue of women as the world celebrates this year's International Women's Day. In a statement he signed on Saturday, President Tinubu praised the resilience, brilliance, and indispensable contributions of Nigerian women, describing them as the strength that powers the country. He said his administration is committed to actualizing the renewed hope agenda, adding that women are the bedrock of the nation as they drive progress from homes to farms, boardrooms, and communities. He regretted that 30 years after the Beijing Declaration, too many still face barriers that limit their potential, and reiterated his commitment to help them attain their full potentials. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has issued a statement in support of women's rights, calling for greater empowerment and inclusion of women in governance. Atiku disclosed this in a statement on X on Saturday as he commemorated International Women's Day. Atiku also expressed concern over the ongoing suppression of women's voices in leadership positions within Nigeria, citing the recent suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Odoahan. Atiku concluded by expressing his commitment to the protection and advancement of women's rights in Nigeria, saying a nation can only progress when its women are given the space and opportunity to thrive. The United Nations has urged women around the world to stand their ground in the face of adversity. The call was made as the world celebrates the 2025 International Women's Day on March 8. According to the human rights group, the International Women's Day is a chance to rise and make the world equal and better for everyone. The UN said there is hope as it lists its progress on women's rights. For 89% of governments, it said ending violence against women is a top priority today, adding that 193 countries have legal measures against it. Data shows that countries with domestic violence laws have seen fewer cases of violence against women. The Senate leader, Bamidele Okoyemi, has clarified that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Odoahan was suspended for gross misconduct, not because of a sexual harassment allegation she made against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Okoyemi made the clarification in a statement that was made available to newsmen on Saturday. The lawmaker representing Ekiti Central Senatorial District said false narratives are being circulated by certain media organizations on Akpoti-Odoahan's 6-month suspension. Reacting to the aftermath of the suspension, Okoyemi stressed that Akpoti-Odoahan was suspended solely for her persistent acts of misconduct, blatant disregard for the provisions of the Senate Standing Orders 2023, and gross indiscipline. He further said the Kogi lawmaker's suspension was a decision of the Committee of the Whole Senate following the submission of a report by the chairman, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, Neda Imeshon, adding that the report found her guilty of violating Section 6, subsection 1 and Section 2, subsection 2 of the Senate rules and recommended her immediate suspension. In her struggle to pursue a means of livelihood, Pamela Yakubu, a 29-year-old lady, has carved a niche as an automotive paint technician in Jos, Plateau State. Having mastered the skills of automotive painting, the young lady, popularly called Ella the Painter, says she is proud of her achievements in a field dominated by men. Trust TV's Adomo visited Pamela at a workshop in Jos and filed this report.
Pamela, popularly called Ella the Painter, is the only person among her peers who has endured and mastered the automotive painting business. Her dedication and resilience have paid her off and she has successfully graduated. Exhibiting a passion for the job, Pamela explains what motivated her to join a venture traditionally dominated by men.
My family, most especially my mom, for the love I have for colors, especially that of cars, and the feel to learn new things, the feel to progress too, and let me say the challenges that comes with the work and continuous progress.
Having graduated in 2023, Pamela continues to work with her boss due to the financial constraints hindering her from starting her own workshop.
It's actually not my shop. Yes, I'm under my boss. I'm still here with him based on I do not have funds to open my own place, so I'm still here with him. My dreams are to establish my own place, like to open a workshop someday. I think soon, by God's grace, because I have plans on starting my own space, but I'm financially not buoyant for now. Yes, I'm still here.
While acknowledging the difficulties she faces, the 29-year-old expresses a growing desire to mentor and train others, particularly women who intend to join the industry.
They say what a man can do, a woman can do much more better. It is very possible, because whatever you set your mind in, you will do it. Except if you're not ready, you're not willing to do it, you're not determined to do it. If you are, you're going to achieve it. So it's as simple as that. Yes, I want to train females because I want them to be like me or even more.
Samson David is Pamela's boss. He explains her endurance and resilience while learning the job.
There is one thing about passion and determination. Well, I would just like to sum it up with those two. That was what has kept Ella till date, because we've seen instances where even men, boys, come to learn this work, but they never stay true. Some of them will do just a year, some of them will do 2 years, and they will go. That shows that they are not really out for it. But for her, it's a different story. Even being a lady, she's so determined and she has passion for the work, and she's always at it. So I know that she will, of course, make better things out of this work.
Pamela is a secondary school leaver who wishes to continue her education once she establishes her workshop and earns steady money. From Jos, Ado Musa reporting for Trust TV.
What a very resilient young woman, especially on this day of International Women's Day. Now, over in Kano State, so talking about women in Rimingado local government area of the state, the women there are making a fortune from knitting caps, which in turn is attracting merchants from neighboring states on each market day. The cup-making business has been a game-changer for many women who rely on it for their livelihood and financial support for family members. Ahmed Dati recently visited the village, filed in this report.
Rimungado, located some 20 kilometers away from Kano, is known for agricultural production, especially food crops. But cup-making business is becoming an exclusive industry for many women, with male traders as the ultimate buyers. Karimatu Usman, who has been in the business for over 20 years, said she relies on cup making to meet her daily needs and support her immediate family.
I make caps and I've been doing it for 20 years, achieving a lot through it. It helps us greatly as we sell them to earn a living. What we need for ourselves and our children, we get through this trade. It's not just me. As you can see, we've met us all busy making caps, and this place is our meeting spot. We make small, medium, and large sized caps.
Aisha Sani said women are attracted to the business because it gives them quick money and is easy to learn.
Since we were kids, we've been taught how to make caps, starting with rags, and later moved to these types of caps. We began with smaller ones and eventually started the business on our own.
Wednesday is a typical market day, and cap merchants like Usman Idris and Maharaz Yahaya come to the market to buy caps from the women for sale in Kaduna, Katsina, Lagos, Abuja, and even outside the country.
Certainly, women also make the caps and bring them here for us to buy. They earn a living through this trade and get everything they need. We also earn a lot from it. Every week, I buy caps here for almost sale to other states and even outside Nigeria. I buy caps ranging from 3,000 to 5,000 and sometimes even 8,000 to 9,000.
Residents are hopeful that the enterprising cap business will continue to attract traders to the quiet town of Rimangado. Ahmad Datti, Trust TV News, Kano.
Moving on from the stories, now the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has expressed gratitude to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Kudirat Kekerekun, for the reassignment of his case. In a statement by his lawyer, Aloye Jimako, on Saturday, Kanu also expressed his appreciation to members of the general public for their solidarity on his demand for the transfer of the case file. Kanu noted that he received 2 letters from the CJN and the Chief Judge of Federal High Court, Justice John Soho, conveying the transfer of the case to another judge after his earlier letter complaining about the continued trial before Justice Binta Yanko. Kanu had, during the February 10th sitting before Justice Binta Yanko of the Federal High Court, lamented that the judge refused to recuse herself from his trial, accusing her of bias. We go to Akwa Ibom State, where the governor, Umo Eno, has described as untrue the 700 billion naira fraud allegation leveled against his predecessor, Udom Emmanuel, by the Network Against Corruption and Trafficking and being probed by anti-graft agency EFCC. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, governor condemned what he described as a vilification of the past governors of the oil-rich South states since the return to democracy in 1999. The governor said subjecting leaders to fraud probes after they have served their people well in office would discourage those currently in office from giving their best whilst in service. On Tuesday, March 4, 2025, operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, detained Emmanuel for alleged 700 billion naira fraud. These followed the petitioner's allegations of money laundering and diversion of funds preferred against PDP's Emmanuel, who was Akwa Ibom State Governor from May 2015 to May 2023. The petition alleged that Emmanuel received 3 trillion naira from the Federation account in 8 years, but left a debt profile of 500 billion naira and unpaid ongoing projects worth 300 billion naira. He was also alleged to be unable to account for 700 billion naira. More stories. Over in Anambra State, the governor, Charles Soludo, has issued a stern warning to roadside preachers using loudspeakers in public spaces, particularly markets, accusing them of causing noise pollution and disturbing residents. Soludo stated that anyone caught violating the noise pollution order would face a 500,000 naira fine. A viral video circulating on social media on Saturday shows the governor warning an unidentified roadside preacher at a market to stop disrupting traders with his preaching.
You want to preach the word of God, you go to your church. Are you getting me? You are causing pollution. You cannot come to a marketplace and begin to disturb everybody else. Are you getting me? You want to preach the word of God, you go to a church. The person who wants to come to your church will come to your church. But you don't force everybody. In a marketplace, people have come to trade. It's not a church. So you don't do that. They would have arrested you, contravening the law. Okay? You don't come out and take a space and start preaching. It's noise.
Ramadan is a time for reflection, fasting, and most importantly, giving. In this report, Kano residents speak on how tradition ensures no one is left behind when it comes to breaking their fast.
During Ramadan, the spirit of charity thrives, uniting people of different classes. Vendors display various options for breaking the fast, reflecting different choices. I prefer those flavors prepared by mixing with water because when breaking my fast, I love the way it tastes and I also love the way it's satisfying. I prefer to take carbonated drinks. That's what I like to take.
I need fresh. Fresh is better. You get energy, you have stamina, you always be healthy.
I prefer fresh fruits like watermelon, oranges, pineapple, and banana. With these contrasting preferences, where younger individuals seem to prefer carbonated drinks while older ones opt for fresh fruits, nutritionist Awal Muhammad provides insight into eating habits during Ramadan and why some choices may not be ideal.
What your body did during the 13 hours or 12 hours period, your body try to filter every unwanted substances that can lead to carcinogen, or that can lead to ulcer, or that can lead to free radicals. But when you take a carbonated drinks, after sweeping your room, or you clean your room, you mop it, everything is well clean without any dust or dirty. Now you are invited, now you are taking another dirty, come and spread it all over the room. That's the same thing. So it's even good for the people to use what we call a fresh fruits or vegetable.
Aminu Lawan is at work preparing fruits for a charitable iftar, a tradition he has maintained for over 2 decades. Just as you met me working every year, every day during Ramadan, for the past 25 years, I prepare these fruits to share as gifts with everyone. While Aminu has enough to go round, many struggle to afford their own meals. They depend on gestures like this here at Singa Market, where Muslims come together to receive food for iftar. The spirit of the period bridges the gap between the rich and the less privileged. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was known for his generosity. During Ramadan, he gave even more. So we urge everyone to give, no matter how small. We see both the rich and the poor come together in this market, so we encourage others to also follow this practice. Islamic scholar Sheikh Muhammad bin Uthman highlights the significance of charity during Ramadan.
It's the time to give. Our Prophet ﷺ used to give, just like the wind blows to a certain road. You have to look at how wind blows, for example. How does it? It's not stoppable. So keep on giving in the month of Ramadan. That is what is needed. Give to those in need. Give to the orphans. Give to the indigent. Give to the women that are left with a lot of kids after the demise of the breadwinner. Give to somebody working under you. He is even underpaid. You are paid handsomely. Look at you. There are mouths he has to feed. There are those in need of health care, of Medicare. Without money, give.
Certainly, this tradition strengthens community ties, ensuring that no one is left without the means to break their fast. Abdulaziz Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Kano.
In business, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Resources Authority, NMDPRA, has issued refining licenses to 3 companies to build new refineries in Abia, Delta, and Edo states. According to an expose by the NMDPRA on its official page, the proposed refineries that have been issued licenses are a 100,000 BPD refining license to Egudu Refinery Limited in Edo State, MB Refinery and Petrochemicals Company Limited license to establish a 30,000 barrels per day refinery in Delta State, and a 10,000 barrels per day refinery issued to his refining and Petrochemical Company Limited in Abia. Upon completion, the 3 proposed refineries will have a combined refining capacity of 140,000 barrels per day. Data from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) show that Nigeria has 9 operational refineries with a combined refining capacity of 974,500 barrels per day, with the Dangote refinery having the largest capacity of 650,000 barrels per day. However, the majority of the refineries are not producing at full scale. According to the NUPRC, the 9 refineries would require a combined daily crude supply of 770,500 barrels per day and over 123 million barrels in the first half of 2025. Away from Nigeria, a South Sudanese general and dozens of soldiers have been killed after a United Nations helicopter tried to evacuate them from the northern town of Nasir came under attack. The UN said Friday's incident, which could deal a blow to an already fragile peace process, was utterly abhorrent and a possible war crime. A power-sharing agreement between President Salva Kiir and First Vice President Riek Machar has been threatened in recent weeks by clashes between the allied forces in the northeastern Upper Nile state. The UN crew was trying to airlift soldiers as a heavy clashes in Nasser between national forces and the so-called White Army, a militia that Kiir's government is linked to forces loyal to Machar, his bitter rival. In a national address announcing the deaths of General Major Duck and other soldiers, Kiir said Machar had assured him and the UN representative that the general would be safe and that the rescue mission should fly to Nasser to evacuate him and his men. Information Minister Michael McQuay said approximately 27 troops were killed. And in sports, Nigeria's Flamingos moved a step closer to the 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup after defeating South Africa 3-1 at the Lucas Moripe Stadium, Pretoria, on Saturday. Shakira Moshood gave Nigeria the lead after 20 minutes. Forward Harmony Chidi doubled the Flamingos' lead from the penalty spot 5 minutes before the break. However, skipper Katlehu Malebana pulled a goal back for the hosts from the penalty spot 2 minutes after the break. Chidi restored Nigeria's 2-goal lead with her second of the encounter in the 68th minute. The second leg will hold at the Remo Star Stadium, Ikenne, next Saturday. The winner on aggregate will seal a place in the final qualifying round. Four managers have been shortlisted for the Nigeria Premier Football League NPFL Coach of the Month Award for February. The quartet are Imama Amapakabo, Abia Warriors, Fidelis Ilechukwu, Rangers, Greg Ikenuba, Bendel Insurance, and Daniel Ogumodede for Rema Stars. Imama led Abia Warriors to 3 wins, a draw, and a defeat in 5 matches in the month and helped the club move up to 7th position with their impressive run. Ilechukwu is leading his team's chase for continental football next season after guiding the Flying Antelopes to 3 wins, a draw, and a defeat in the month. Ikenuba's tactical brilliance has facilitated Bendel Insurance's escape from the relegation zone since his appointment and has helped the club move up to 9th position in the NPFL table with 4 wins and 1 draw in 6 matches. The Ogumodede-led side have continued to hold firm to their position at the summit of the NPFL table following 3 wins in 5 games. The winner of the award will be decided by a panel of Nigerian football experts and announced next week. May the best man win. That's it for news updates at this time. For more of our news, sports, news and documentaries, don't forget to follow us on our social media platform on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiama Kaumafo. Thank you very much at this time. Good evening. Happy